Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for October 14th for Government 100. Um, we are actually in week 9 now of the semester. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is I sent you an email about this, so I hope you opened my email and read it. But this is about Eat and Complete. Okay, this is the official flyer. I sent that to you, and I just want to reiterate that I hope you go. Okay, if you can go in person, that would be fantastic. There is a bonus credit opportunity. It's a really nice event where students go, they have lunch, and hopefully become inspired to complete and finish their programs, your degrees and your certificates that you're working on. If you do go to Eat and Complete, and that's on this Tuesday at 12 o'clock in the Student Center Cafe, you will get lunch. And also, I will be there. So if you go and you see me, please say hello to me. I would love to meet you in person if that's possible. So, and for those of you who don't live locally here in Alamogordo, and are not able to attend, there is an assignment that you can do, extra credit assignment that you can do as well. All right, so I hope to see you on Tuesday at Eat and Complete. Okay, next, let's move on to the midterm. So I will be grading your midterms this week. That is the portions that weren't graded automatically, the parts that you wrote, paragraph responses to. So I'll be grading that, and it looks like everybody got their test in. I know there's a little confusion about the due date, and that's my fault. I led you to believe that there is an extra day beyond the due date. What I meant to say is that the midterm was due instead of a Thursday, so I'm sorry if I caused some confusion there. But anyway, it looks good, and you'll be seeing your grade for your tests probably later this coming week. Okay? So next, we move on. And now we're going to move on to Module 9, which is the federal courts. And I've divided this is Chapter 8 in our textbook, but I've divided this topic into 2 weeks and 2 modules. So this week it's kind of light, okay? What I want you to do is to focus on reading Chapter 8 in your textbook, and then there's a practice quiz, okay? And of course you have to score, it looks like 14 points in order to move on to the next module. Now, I want you to go ahead when you finish Module 9, and you should finish that pretty quickly, go ahead and move on to Module 10, excuse me, because you have a written assignment, okay, in Module 10. So Module 10 is a continuation of the Federal Courts Part 2. And so by Federal Courts, what we're talking about here is we're mainly going to look at the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court. But we're also going to look at other aspects of the federal court system, okay? And so you'll see in the reading that courts exist on 2 levels, kind of like federalism. You also have federal courts as well as state or district courts. Okay, so each state has its own judiciary as well, as we do in New Mexico. And it goes up to the New Mexico State Supreme Court. Okay. So, but we will mostly focus on the federal courts, which would be the national courts. And there are federal courts all over the United States. They are divided into districts. Okay. So, but like I said, the paper that you're going to write is mainly on the Supreme Court, okay, the United States Supreme Court. All right. So I really would like you to move on to Module 10 and start looking at the instructions for your written assignment. I'm giving you articles to read. Those are your sources of information. Excuse me. And you're going to be exploring a question about how the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution. Okay, so this is kind of a hot topic. Okay, it's kind of it's controversial, in fact, in that lots of people have opinions about this. Okay, so it's going to be important for you to think critically objectively. So set aside whatever opinions you might have, okay, and read the articles objectively. So I'm giving you a viewpoint and, or excuse me, an overview, and then you're going to get a point and a counterpoint. So the articles, you have to read all three of them, and you can access them from your computer. They're part of the database from our library. So when you're off campus, you're going to have to log into the library website in order to access the articles. Okay, and I give you instructions on how to do it. There's, I think, a video that you can watch as well on how to do that. So it's pretty simple. I don't think it should be difficult for you. All right, and then the written assignment. There's 3 pages of instructions here, and what I want you to do is to kind of pretend that you are a writer for a newspaper, and your job is to write about how the U.S. Supreme Court interprets the Constitution, and you're going to analyze whether the Constitution should be interpreted by the Supreme Court in terms of its original meaning or as a living document whose meaning changes with the times. Okay, so these are 2 different philosophies of interpreting the Constitution that I would like you to examine, okay, using these articles that I've given you. All right, so make sure that you read all 3 pages of the instructions for the paper. Okay, very, very important. You follow those instructions. Also, as far as the length goes, it's not a long paper. We're only talking 2 to 3 pages here. Okay, so it's not very long, but you do have to write it completely. Okay, so make sure that you get everything. And there are also formatting requirements as well. You need to attribute your sources of information. Okay, so that's really important. I want to encourage you, if you're taking English 111 or you've taken English 111, this book is your friend, okay? And there's a section on APA. Where it is? There it is. Look at that. This is all on, look at that. APA, okay? Everything you need is there on how to appropriately cite your sources. And so I will be expecting that you will use in-text citations within the body of your paper, and that you will also give me a bibliography, okay? And in that bibliography, you're just going to have those 3 sources, but you still have to have the bibliography. All right, now if you have any questions or trouble with doing this, I highly recommend that you get some help. Okay, there's some online resources called the Purdue OWL. This is a great friend if you have it. We have a wonderful academic support center where tutors can help you online as well. Okay, so please utilize all of those sources for your paper. All right, so that's what's going on with the paper. There is a rubric. Look at the rubric before you write your paper as well. All right, so I really encourage you to get started on this, this week if possible. And read through the instructions very carefully. And if you have questions about the instructions, get in touch with me. Okay? All right, this is a long announcement, so I better finish. Okay, thank you for watching, those of you who are watching. And again, if you have questions about this written assignment, contact me so I can help you with that. Okay? All right. I hope you all have a good week, and I will see you soon. Bye.